array. So variable that were created during the program execution and destroyed when it is no longer needed. So in other words, we would like to create some variable in the middle of the program, and also we would like to destroy those variable when it is not being used. So in order to do so, we make use of the operator called new. So for new, what it does is that it allocates the memory as a variable of a specific data type, and then it returns the address for the pointer to point to. So in this example, we have pointer 1 equals to new and then integer. So this one is the data type. So here we got the data type that is integer. So in other words, for the first line, what it does is that in the memory, originally we got the pointer 1, and then now when we call new integer, it means that from the memory, the operating system just gave us a particular location. We can use this particular location. But then because there is no name for the variable, we point it to there. It means that now the pointer points to there. And then started from now on, we can change the content to 1, change the content to 2, etc. etc. 咁呢度做緊嘅動作就係話個電腦喺個 memory 之中 reserve 咗一格俾我哋，嗰格係任何時間都改得佢，唔會再有其他人掂到㗎啦。咁 pointer 指住咗佢之後，我哋可以透過 pointer 1去攞得到呢一格。改佢嘅時候就好簡單啦，我哋用翻之前嘅 sing pointer 1啦，即係 dereference 咗個 pointer 就掂到呢格啦。The other way is that we can also allocate a block of memory by referring to the array notation. So when we got pointer 2 equals to new integer and then square bracket 5, it means that in the memory, what we have is just that pointer 2. So pointer 2 got an address, but then the address is just a block of memory. And then now we are pointing to the very first location. Okay? 兩種用法，第一種用法淨係攞一粒數翻嚟啦，即係攞一粒嘅 integer 翻嚟啦，或者另一個方法攞一堆嘅 memory 翻嚟，即係攞一個 array 翻嚟。Alright? And then once it is done, we can deallocate the memory. It means that we would like to release the memory. So when we release the memory, we make use of the delete. So we just delete the pointer, or we delete the array of the pointer. So when we put a square bracket, it means that pointer 2 should be treated as an array, and then we release all those memory. So in other words, for the computer, it is no longer reserved for our usage anymore. 當我哋 delete 之後，即係話我哋指住嘅嗰個地方已經唔再係 reserve 咗㗎啦，即係話任何時間都可以俾另一個 program 攞去用嘅。Alright? So that is what we would like to do for dynamic variable. Okay? So example. So at here we got two pointer P1 and P2. So at here we got P1 and P2. And then for P1 we allocate 5 cells for the memory. For P2 we just got 1 single cell. So at here we just dynamically create those variables by making use of new. And then after that we can make use of the array notation to point to different elements as well. So to start with, we input all those elements for P1, P2, P5, and then for pointer 2, we just add the elements into there. So in other words, I'll just try to dry run on the program on the right hand side. 好啦，而家呢度我就將佢當係一個 program 咁樣 run 一次啦 ，dry run 一次嚟睇下啦。So when we got the very first line, when we allocate those to memory, what it does is that in the memory we got P1. P1 point to a newly allocated array, so there were 5 boxes. and then P1 points to there. Alright? On the other side, we got P2 equals to new integer. It means that P2, it points to a location, but then there is only one single cell. When we got star P2 equals to 0, it means that we reset this one to be 0. Alright? And then now we input each one of them from 0 to smaller than 5. It means that first one, when we input 5, we store 5 at here. And then the next line, star P2 plus equals to P square I. So the very first time we input 5, and then now P1 square I means 5. So P2 star plus equals. So we read 0 plus 5, so it turns to be 5. And then the next one, we got P1 1, so this one turns to be P1 1, so we store 3 into the memory. And then after that, we got P2 plus equals to this one. We just add the number into the memory. And then 2, it means P1 square 2 turns to be 10. And then 7. And then 4. So that's why by the end, after the for loop, we got 21 for P2, and we store all the number in P1. 咁呢度啦，我哋就係透過開咗一個新嘅 memory 嘅位置啦，將 P1 個五格 save 晒新嘅數啦 ，P2 一路 keep track 緊總數啦 ，P2 最尾 store 緊嘅係21。Okay, so once it is done, we print out all the element for P0 to P4. So that's why on the right hand side, we got this particular table. 咁呢個 table 就係頭先呢一度呢個 for loop 啦，我哋透過 for loop 將每一個 print 翻晒出嚟啦。And then once it is done, now we can release the memory. So when we release the memory, it means that for P1, even though we point to there, the memory block is destroyed, and then we don't refer to it anymore. And in terms of P2, we didn't release it yet, so that's why still we got 21 out there. We output 21 star in terms of the output, and then after that we delete P2 as well. So when we delete P2, it means that we don't refer to it anymore. So put together, that is how we can allocate dynamic memory and then make use of them and finally release them one by one. Okay? 咁頭先呢度就逐個攞咗兩個 block 翻嚟用過佢，用完之後再 delete 咗佢，就係咁嘅啫。So we release the memory once it is done. So why we have this kind of syntax and what is the usage? 好啦，做 project 嘅時候，大家有一個最大嘅難度係咪？就係講緊我有一堆 burger， 有陣時多啲，有陣時少啲。其中一種做法係點樣可以做得到多啲少啲嘅一個 array 呢？就係用呢一個方法啦。So at here the size, in case that we declare P as an array, then it should turn to be a fixed size. But then now with the notation of new as well as the array allocation, so now we can dynamically allocate an array of arbitrary size. 用得到 new 同埋用到個 square bracket 嘅話，即係話任何時間我可以攞一個長啲嘅 array 翻嚟，或者攞個短啲嘅 array 翻嚟都得。咁即係話個 array 嘅 size 就唔再係 fixed 啦。So now, say for example, size equals to 5, and then we allocate 5 for them. So now for P, there were 5 of them. So we would like to input some numbers, stop at 0, we got the number. In case it's 0, then it is done. In case not, we just save it into the memory. And then after that, we save the counter. So And here what we would like to do is that first of all, from the very beginning, P equals to new integer size 5. So it means that in total there were 5 blocks out there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks out there. And then we got P pointing to there as well. 一頭 P 指住一個 array 啦，個 array allocate 咗5格，所以有5格啦。So when we input, so each time we just save it into the memory. So for 1, it's saved into the 0. For 23, it's saved into 1. And then after that, 7 saved into 2. -5 saved into 3. And then -66 saved into P4. Right? So when we got P4, it means that counter plus plus, it turns to be counter equals to 5. So at this moment, counter turns to be 5. So then what happened? So what happened is that when the counter equals to 5, it means it is equal to the size. Then we would like to create a new array. So here we double the size. So we got 10. So here we got 10, and then for 10, we allocate the memory for size times 2. In other words, we got 10 blocks from 0 to 9. 呢度做緊咩呢？就係想攞一個新嘅 memory block 翻嚟啦，但係個 size 要大過舊嗰個嘅，即係話之前係 size 係5啦，而家 size 變咗做10，即係話攞0至到9攞咗10格翻嚟。Alright? 4、6、7、8、9 1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9 So in total 10 cells. And then after that, from 0 to smaller than size, we just copy. So it means that we would like to copy all those content into there. So it is 1, and then 23, and then 7, and then -5, and then -66. 咁呢度下面呢個 for loop 嘅動作就係將佢 copy 入去啦，將 P 本來裝住嗰5粒吸晒入個 temp 之中。And then after that, we delete on the P, so it means that it is no longer useful. And then now we point P equals to temp. It means that we shift the pointer to temp. So once it is done, it means that we dynamically allocate more element for the whole array. And then after that, the size turns to be 10 as well. 咁呢度面亦都將個 size 重新 update 一次啦，因為本來嘅 size 只係得5格啫，而家個 size 就變成咗可以有10格啦。Okay, so that's why up to here we dynamically allocate new memory. And then after that, we still go back to the for loop. We got a new input. So the next one turns to be 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3. And then 21. And then -999. And then 0. So once we got 0, we get out of the loop. 咁呢度入到0嘅時候，因為 break 啊嘛 ，break 就會跳出去啦。So now our numbers were those from 0 to count。count 一路數住有幾多粒，所以呢度由0數到 count， 即係數翻晒頭先曾經出現過嘅嗰啲數字啦。So by doing so, at here we got all those elements, and then at the same moment, the array turns to be 10 cells. Alright. So for this program now, this program doesn't limit on the number of elements. 呢個同之前用 array 做嘢最大嘅分別係咩呢？就係因為 dynamic 咁 allocate memory， 所以可以無限長。列入10個就可以有10格，如果再多啲嘅話，佢變咗20格，再多啲嘅變做40格，即係話唔會再有 size limit 啦。Okay? So now it doesn't limit in terms of the size, unlike when we are using array. 咁用 pointer 同用 array 最大分別係咩呢？ array 嘅 size 係 fix 嘅，冇辦法變長嘅。但係用 pointer 透過 new 同 delete 我哋可以令到 memory 任何長度都得。Okay? So that's why here we reserve double the size of the memory, and then after that we just copy the old one into the new one. But now, the danger of using pointer. 去到頭先 pointer 好似都唔係好難用係咪？但係 pointer 有啲危機嘅，個危機叫做 memory leak， 即係講緊漏咗啲 memory。So, for example, at here we got P, we got a new element, new array, new variable, new integer out there. And then we store 55 into there. So what it means is that after the new, and then we say 54 into there. But then when we got a new integer again, so we point to a new address again. 我哋呢一度 new 嘅嗰刻，其實即係講緊個 pointer 重新指嗰個新嘅 memory address. But then now the old memory, that is this particular one, it turns to be inaccessible. 當我哋 new 完個 pointer allocate 咗啲 memory 翻嚟，但我哋冇 delete 嘅情況下再 new 嘅話，舊嗰粒會變成再用唔到，但係同一時間對部電腦嚟講係 reserve 咗俾我哋嘅。咁所以喺咁嘅情況下就會越嚟越少 memory 可以用㗎啦。而呢個叫 memory leak， 即係話你個 program 本來可能用10個 K 嘅 data 啫，不過你不斷 allocate 啲 memory 翻嚟，變成個 program 嘅 size、memory size 越嚟越大。如果呢個 program run 好耐嘅話，最尾可以令到你部機 hang 咗都得嘅。Alright? So for memory leak, it means that the memory is allocated, but then it cannot be released in a later stage. 呢度就係講緊攞咗翻嚟，但係冇辦法放翻俾部電腦。So the program may terminate abnormally with too many memory leak occurs, say 1 million times. 今時今日比較難啲啦嚇，大家部機都有4 G 嘅 RAM。咁但係理論上啦，如果 program 不斷 run 不斷攞 memory 咧，佢就會攞到爆咗嘅。So that's why always use the delete appropriately to avoid this kind of problem. 咁唯一解決嘅方法只有靠 programmer 嘅啫，就係靠你清晰地 delete 咗先至好再撩，咁就冇問題㗎啦。So up to here, that's what we would like to cover for the pointer. 咁去到呢度就係 pointer 想講嘅大部分東西啦。So first part, using pointer in a program, it means that we declare on the pointer. 首先啦，第一部分就係點樣用一個 pointer 啦。最簡單就係 declare 一個 pointer 出嚟啦。So we just allocate a new pointer, and then it point to the other element out there. 第一種做法啦，就係 declare 個 pointer， 然後將佢 save 咗人哋嘅位置啦。Second one, pointer arithmetic and also expression. So at here we can make use of P and then plus plus to shift on the location. So function with pointer parameters. 當我用 pointer 嘅時候，我哋可以喺個 function 之中俾一個 pointer 俾佢啦。So when we pass the pointer into there, this one turns to be passed by reference. Because inside the program, we can make use of P and then 2 equals to 5. Then it will change the content of the memory block out there. 咁因為我 pass 一個 pointer 入去嘅 function 入面，佢係改得入面啲 content 嘅。而佢改嘅時候就係 call 嗰刻個 pointer 係咩，佢就改咩。所以呢度係一個 pass by reference 嚟嘅。And then last part, dynamic variable. So dynamic variable means that we make use of new and then say integer to got a new memory. And then later we would like to delete on the pointer so that the memory can be used again. 咁呢度啦，最主要係講個 new 字啦，同埋講個 delete 呢兩個字嘅啫。咁樣就 allocate 到一粒 memory 翻嚟啦，一個 variable。And then other than that, we can also dynamically allocate a whole array by referring to making use of the new, but then now it is integer and then square bracket say 10。如果想攞一堆 memory 翻嚟，可以用呢個方式去攞啦。And then we can delete in terms of the whole array. Okay. So the last part is the most challenging part, whereby we got the new memory. We need to release by ourselves. In case we forgot, then we will got the memory leak problem. So last one, some exercise. So on the left hand side, given an integer a, write a code to declare a pointer to the integer called x. 咁我哋呢一度想做咩呢？我哋想開一個 variable 叫 x 啦，而佢會 point 去 a 個 address. So first of all, declare on the pointer. Alright? So declaring on a pointer, we simply make use of the star. 咁呢度純粹係 declare 一個叫 x 嘅係 integer star， 咁就已經 OK 啦。So integer and then star x. Okay? So set x points to a. So it means that we would like to get the address of a and save it into x as well. 第二個 point 我哋想將個 a 嘅地址 save 交俾 x 啦，令到 x 可以 point 住佢。So we simply make use of the address, right? So x equals to ampersand a. And finally, we would like to change the content by referring to x. So we dereference on x. So in other words, for the right hand side, the first row what we did is that there is an a, and then in terms of content it is 2. For this line, we got x, that is a pointer. On the next line, when we got the address of a, it means that we point to a. And then now when we dereference it, it means that this particular location. 升 x 其實即係同 a 係同一格嚟嘅。So that's why when we change it to 5, it means that content of a change into 5. On the right hand side, given the code below, use pointer arithmetic to change a2 to 3. So on the right hand side, what we would like to do is that first of all we got a5. So it means a is a pointer, an array, and then it point to a block whereby we got 5 elements. So this one is 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. 咁因為呢度用咗個 curly brace 啦，即係話全部都 set 晒做0嘅。So from the beginning, we got a pointer ptr, and then we point to the same address as a. So now we would like to make use of the pointer arithmetic to change on a2, a0, a1, a2. So we would like to change this block into 3. 我哋而家想透過 ptr 去改得到 A2 嗰格，將佢由0改做3。Okay? So we simply make use of the arithmetic. So pointer plus 2. So pointer plus 2 means this particular location. And then now we dereference it and save it to 3. So that is 3. Alright? Another way is that we can move the pointer around. 頭先個方法係就咁加完數之後 dereference 佢啦，另一種做法就係令到 pointer 重新指過第二格啦。So when we got pointer plus 2, and save it back, it means that we are no longer pointing to the 0 element, and here we point to the third cell, that is A2. And then after that, we just dereference it, save it to free, then it is the same. So that's it for today.